You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Yo, what up, though? Our rebels, how are you living? I hope you are all safe and well. We have a new national champion, and man, did they try to get that game away. But, you know, in the end, water found its level. We got plenty to get into. NFL, NHL, and y'all want to talk Lakers all year long. Guess what you're going to have to talk now? You're going to have to talk Lakers, whether you like it or effing not. That and a whole lot more, Rebels. So buckle on up and get ready for another wild edition of DSR2. So without further ado, let's do the do at DSR2. I am Scrappy, and here is your host, China Moose.
Hey, we're back here for another edition of DSR2 on this first Wednesday in April. Baseball is going to start officially tomorrow. Tiger opening day is on Friday. Of course, what's Friday going to be? Snow and rain.
Welcome to Michigan's opening day.
We move it back a week, it don't matter.
It does not matter.
Can move it back 2 weeks, it wouldn't matter if we get snow and rain on it.
It does not matter.
So, guys, here a lot to talk about. As we said, we've got a new NCAA men's champion, a new NCAA women's champion this year. And, again, the last run there, the NBA out there, we got like the last 3 or 4 games this going up on it. And we're getting into like the last 10 games or so of the NHL. And NFL draft is just around the corner, so we'll get into a little bit of the couple trades that came out there as well. And again, we'll get into a little bit of MLB and some of the predictions and everything with it. Some of these clowns out there need to basically pay attention to what happened in the offseason for baseball, because I'm seeing some of these predictions and I'm going, what the hell's good? Where do they get this
What are
from?
they talking about?
Also, we got maybe we'll even get into a little bit of WrestleMania there. I didn't watch any of it, so
okay, so I'll get into some of it because I did watch, because I'm going to tell you, I watched more wrestling in 2.5 days than I've probably watched in the last 10 years combined. And that includes the fact that I actually like work shows every month. Like, it is so crazy, man. Like, there was so much around WrestleMania that the best show was far away from WrestleMania. But obviously, that's what people are going to talk about. So maybe, you know how we are. We kind of cover all kinds of different stuff. And, I won't be able to resist at some point to be a smart ass. So I'm going to find my beverage. Anyway, what were we talking about?
So we're all sorts of craziness on there, and as we said, is Lakers on there. We told you back in August this was not going to end well on it. We thought they'd maybe just squeak into playoffs, but you know what? They didn't make the playoffs. They're officially out. They're not even in the play-in tournament. They are out. Well, they can have a good draft pick on there. No, they can't, because they don't have a draft pick in the first round this year, or next year, or the year after, or the year after, or the year after. 2026 before you have a first round draft pick.
I heard someone talking. It's funny because, when I'm out doing my day stuff and our other jobs and all the other stuff that we do, like a lot of people in those worlds my worlds don't cross over very often. It's weird. Okay. So I do the wrestling, I do the belt thing, and I do this podcast thing. Right. So the worlds don't cross that often, other than when I make the intersection, right? When we talk about it here. But I don't really, talk about DSR2 on the wrestling stuff. That's not what I'm there for. And so there's like very little crossover. People so, and then when I'm in my regular job, nobody knows what I'm doing. I'm not walking around going, hey, this is what I do, and I'm not doing this. I got a regular job. Like, I don't show, so nobody really knows. Occasionally we'll be in public places, and someone will know me from somewhere, whether it be music or this or that. And cats will be like, whoa, how do you know them? I'm like, hey, I don't know. And, and so, but nobody really, my professional world that's outside like this stuff, they don't really cross. And I listen to people talk sports, and, I'm in places where cats don't know what I do. That I've been doing this for like 15 effing years.
Yes.
And they say some of the dumbest I've ever heard. Like, I'm trying to keep it clean here, folks, but like the average water cooler conversation about sports is completely uneducated.
Oh,
it comes from no thought of like any common sense at all. I listen to wrestling. People get mad at wrestling fans. I hear, whether it be non-fans or fans or even workers themselves, be frustrated with wrestling fans. Hey, guess what? That's fandom. Fan is short for fanatic. Right. These cats that are hardcore, they're hardcore for a reason. That's part of the deal. Do you know what these NBA players hear when they're walking around?
Oh, God, yes.
You guys are, I mean, and you know what I'm saying?
You guys suck, man. Why are you making the playoffs? What the hell?
Dude, that is, in kindergarten, nah. In the NBA, there's N-bombs getting dropped. People are throwing stuff, spitting on cats. Dude, fans are trash. Fans are trash. Malice at the Palace? You're telling me fans ain't trash? We saw it up front. Homeboys are throwing beers. Right. I don't give a shit what Ron Artest did. I don't care. You don't need to be chucking stuff at him.
No.
You don't need to be on the floor. It doesn't matter what kind of a clown this guy acts. Did he have the right to run up the steps and beat your ass? I'm not saying he had the right, but I understand.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, come on, man. You guys are clowns. So, I just... I don't get it. So like, yeah, that's what happens. That's part of the territory, unfortunately. So like, but come on, man. Like, at least take a couple of minutes to watch the game and learn the sport and get the psychology of what's going on when you're dealing with a sporting event. I don't care if you played or not. Look, that's the other thing, people. Oh, you can't critique something if you haven't done it. Bullshit. I can study something. I can see how it works. And I can compare contemporaries. I can compare you to your contemporary. I can compare you to your peers. I can compare you to people of the past that did the same thing you did. Yes, that's exactly what I can do. I can look at all these things. And why can't I? Why? Because I can't dribble a ball like you can? That doesn't make any sense. So it's the same kind of concept. But we have to somewhere. That's why they think that way, because fans say the dumbest stuff. And Moose, now the people that are supposed to be paid professionals on our sorry ass airwaves, I can't believe we're a top 10 media market and we have such trash radio here.
Oh God, yes.
I mean, you literally, if you listen to rock, there's plenty of stations for you, but guess what? You're going to hear the same 20 songs you've heard for the last 20 fucking years over and over and over again on every single station. You like country? There'll be plenty of them too. You'll hear the same 20 songs you've heard for the last 20 years over and over and over again on those stations. And then you get to the sports talk.
Yep.
And one is Degenerate Gambling 101. I mean, because that's all they talk about. These cats don't know anything about the actual sport, nor do they care. They're just strictly talking gambling odds. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That would be like if I had a show about meth, and I just sat around and talked about meth. How do you make meth? How do you cook meth? How do you cut meth? How do you do meth? What's the best way to do meth? Let's do meth together. Let's have a live meth party. That would be the equivalent
of what's going on.
Of that.
Right.
And I like, so no. I'm kind of like fed up with all of that shit. It's trash radio. We're here to kind of like put some thought into it, and we'll be crazy, and we'll have that little trashy kind of like crazy morning radio show guy bullshit. But we're clowning.
Right.
But when have we ever not been on point when we're sitting down serious?
Oh, yeah. When we get serious about something, we're spot on point. And again, as we said.
So let's be serious for a minute. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about that. We knew
the Lakers.
We knew it. You see it on there because the team's not getting any younger. LeBron's getting older on there. So what he does is he brings his geriatric friends together, him and Carmelo and Russell and AD, who's never, he's pretty much the body of a 70-year-old anyways, because he's never healthy anyway. And we knew what was going to happen.
Well, this goes way back, dude. Homeboy he's like a bad politician, right? 4 years here, done. 4 years there, gone. 4 years here, gone. And he chews up and spits out everything along the way. LeBron, didn't they get together like on vacation and decide that they were going to form some super team in Miami? And didn't he have some big special on TV?
Yeah.
And didn't he go over there and hang out with his boys and totally
clown out there that they're going to win 7 championships in a row?
Right. And then basically left that team shell of itself to go back to the team that you already left high and dry. Then you were there for how many years? Probably not that many, right? 3? Okay, so you didn't even make the 4-year mark this time, and you're out of there. Now you won a championship. That's great. What'd you do to the goddamn organization? I can't believe how well they've come back this year.
That says something about the general manager and their drafting ability with this.
And the Cavalier link is gonna get me to my point about people saying dumb shit at the water cooler in just a second. I'm gonna bring this whole thing full circle. But that's what LeBron does. Now he goes to LA and he does the same thing. That he thinks he's gonna do the same thing he did in Miami. He's gonna go, he's gonna pick his roster, he's gonna pick his boys, they're gonna do what they want to do, they're gonna make some money, and they're gonna win some championships. And they're gonna do it in LA big time. Well, yeah, but you don't know what you're doing. You're the league's shittiest GM, and you've blown out an organization. It's going to take them 6 years to get anywhere near relevancy if they don't do something crazy. And then what? You're going to leave and go where and do what? We knew you were going to be bad. Russell Westbrook is the only one that can stay on the floor. And guys, I don't know if you know this, but he's not very good. Like, he is entertaining, he is flashy, but he's a volume shooter that shoots a horrible field percentage. Think about that for a minute. Think about the fact there's a reason why he's been on 4 teams in 4 years. Guys, pump the brakes. Westbrook was never the third guy. He couldn't be. The best he'll ever be on any team that's going to contend is a 6th man.
Right.
Period.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you're thinking that if you're not going to win with Durant and Harden, and then you got Westbrook in the mix, there's a reason why. and we're finding out in LA. And if you thought for a second Anthony Davis was going to give you 70 games, you ain't been watching ball, boy.
70 games in 2 years.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're not going to get 60, 70 games out of your top guy, and now LeBron, who is 36 going on 42 because he's played so many playoff games, and now he's got to play 5? He's got to play the 5 because the Brow can't come in.
Right.
And then you got no talent. You got nothing because you put everything into 3 guys that can't even get together. They played 21 games together this year, Moose. 21. That's a quarter of the season.
Yeah. I mean, how many guys have they picked up off basically and gave them 10-day contracts, whatever on it, and they release them because they can't get anybody to stay on there?
Yeah.
I mean, we saw it on it, and we basically said, we thought, all right, they're going to be a play-in team to get in.
They couldn't even get there.
They couldn't even get there. Phoenix ended their season again.
And who wants to come there and deal with Bron and all that bullshit?
No. And then they talked about it here. Somebody posted on there on Twitter or whatever on it. Oh, it was local. What do you think think the Pistons should get? Would you be okay if the Pistons in a couple of years went after Bronny and then we get LeBron too? I'm like, that'd be a hell no. Yeah. I don't want a 40-year-old LeBron James. And is Bronny even good enough to be a first-round draft pick? I don't even think he's that.
So speaking of people saying dumb stuff, this brings me back to my point. I heard someone say, well, he should go back to Cleveland.
Cleveland ain't going to take him back.
Why the hell would Cleveland want him?
Dan Gilbert's like, that'd be hell no.
Why would Cleveland want them? They're finally young and cheap, and they're playing well.
Right.
They're playing good. I mean, if everybody's healthy, that team's what, a top 3 team, top 2 team in the East?
Yeah. I mean, if everybody's healthy, the way they're playing,
So why you add LeBron?
And they're only going to get better because they're young.
Yeah. So
that's just the most jackass on there. I mean, the way they've played everything on there, but that's pretty much it. But he almost as jackass the comments by Kevin Durant late last week that Oklahoma City and Golden State should also retire his number 2. He wants to have his number retired with Brooklyn and Oklahoma City and Golden State.
He Dr. J. He ain't Dr. J.
No.
It don't work that way. You ain't Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, motherfucker.
Again, well, I wanted to, you only won 1 championship in Golden State, and guess what? They won before you.
Yeah, you came in and rode the coattails, homie. You've done nothing on your own.
No, ever.
Yeah. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I get that you're a great player, but you don't win championships.
No.
And you didn't carry the team. And the only time you sniffed a championship is when you rode the coattails of another team, of a team that already won one. Right. That was already changing the way.
Already won 2, and they lost the 3rd one, and they should have won that 3rd one in a row.
Right,
but the Draymond got suspended.
Yeah,
and that's the one where LeBron and Kyrie won that title for Cleveland.
Right. Yep.
So don't give me this crap.
Yeah, and that was a make good for Bron, but it took Kyrie to win it.
Yeah.
Because that's what that was. Because that suspension with
Draymond was bullshit.
It was bullshit. Yeah, especially in that situation, like.
Yeah, unrealistic and everything with that. It's just like, dudes, whatever. I mean, the Knicks are up on Brooklyn as we speak, up by 10 in the second quarter. Okay,
you want to talk about a team that'll do that dumbass LeBron Bronny shit? The Knicks.
Because they're the Knicks.
Yeah, there you go. He can pack his shit up and go from LA to New York, and they can pick his retarded kid, and we can just watch him go at it. I don't care. Yeah. I don't care if the kid's good enough. I don't care if he's only G League level.
Because they're the worst ownership in
who cares? Let the Knicks be the Knicks. I don't care.
Yeah.
So
after what we've seen last year and this year's just like, ugh, with the Knicks and that. But yeah, I mean,
Cat. I don't want you, Cat. Cat, go away. Our mascot can be a pain in the butt.
I would love to see Cleveland take out Brooklyn in a play-in tournament.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I would just love it. But yeah, I mean, the way they're looking on there. But yeah, you'll just look at what some of these clowns out there. It's like, dude, we saw this coming.
Right.
I mean, we talked about even Phoenix. Like, can they weather the storm for CP3 guy? And they did.
Yeah.
Now he's fresh. for playoff run.
Yeah, and that bodes well for them. But see, that to me is awesome because if you've got that kind of depth and you can play that well and you can absorb a stretch at the end of the season to have your star guard go down, then that's a sign of a team that can go all the way. That's why they're back here where they're at after last year. And
the same thing with Memphis. The way Memphis has weathered the storm without John Morant.
Yep. And I hear people make arguments. Oh, well, that just means they're not that important to the team. They're not as good as it. No, that's not true. That just means that they're playing well as a unit, and the next man up kind of fills the spot. But that only can be sustained for so long,
right?
So that's why it's nice when you see it. Like I said, you've got a championship level team. If you're able to sustain something like that for any length of time and not really have any issues.
Yeah, and whereas like Phoenix, CP3 is very integral point, but essentially he's the third cog on that wheel.
Yeah, yes,
because it is basically it's Devin Booker. I can't pronounce it, Gagne or on there, but on there, and then there's CP3.
All right,
but it's Devin Booker's show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, and that's good because I think the way the way the league's played now, it's always those tweener guys. It's not necessarily a big man game. It's not necessarily a point guard game. So you're typically, it's a small forward game, basically in the middle there. And so, but you got to be able to shoot. It's crazy. So, yeah, it's just kind of the evolution of the sport, and it is what it is. So the roster needs to reflect that. I think when you look at some of those teams, they've done a good job of working with it. I think obviously Phoenix and Memphis have done well, but some of these other teams, that's like I said once again, if you're going to win championships, that's how you're going to do it. Brooklyn ain't built like that.
No,
you know what I'm saying. So like when you look at Brooklyn, I don't see them winning a championship without those key pieces. Think about all the championship teams that are out there and how, like the ancillary players, right? The guys that we don't think about. But if your home team, if you're a fan of the home team, it's your home team. You're like, all these other guys and all the roles that they do. If you think about the Going to Work Pistons, or even if you think about the Bad Boy Pistons era, so that's our home team, right? And we remember, Rick Mahorn and all the little things that he was doing, and you had a ton of guys on there. You had that depth of Mark Aguirre, and then our starting five, and all those guys, Vinny Johnson
coming off the bench.
There was just so many guys.
James Edwards in that the first time of the championship coming off the bench, and then later on the second year
you look
being
at
the power forward. Sally coming off the bench.
When you start looking at the Bulls when they got over the hump of the Pistons, look at all the players that they had that came through there, the ancillary players. Even one's a coach these days for a team you might have heard of. So you start bringing it. There's more depth there than a lot of people think about. I think a lot they start thinking about the top three guys and they just stop. And it's like, no, dude, you can have the best three players in the world on one team, and a team that's got more depth is going to beat them eventually. These guys are going to play these games, and someone's going to be injured or not be able to play as well or have an off day. They're going to be working so hard to carry the team that they're going to be worn out at the end of the year.
You've seen
all these things come to fruition. It's not like we're it's not like we're looking at a crystal ball or we're super geniuses. It's just kind of common sense at this point. It's a trend that you've seen every year in every sport in the history of man, right? Like attrition is for real.
Yeah, we've seen that throughout and again, we've seen that throughout the history of the NBA. We mean the Celtics and the Lakers in the 80s. Celtics, you had that 86 team. You had Walton coming off the bench. Mm-hmm. You had Pistol Pete Maravich on there. Before that, you had Cedric Maxwell and everything. And the Lakers, you had AC Green and Michael Cooper and everybody coming off the bench. That Kurt Rambis coming off the bench, doing the little things out there to give on it with it. So, and again, obviously, we've seen the Bad Boys, which again went 10 deep on that damn bench.
Right. Yeah. absolutely.
So, yeah, with it. So, yeah, on there. With that. On there, locally here, a couple of these columns are saying, we'll just troll, especially one certain individual. It's known for trolling, especially on social media. Well, Jalen Green, I'm going to dude, don't even mention Jalen Green for the rookie year because he's not going to win rookie of the year.
No.
It's Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
Maybe Mobley, but I think Cunningham. I mean, if you start looking at the numbers that Cunningham's put up on there and compare them to throughout history under, he is the first rookie since Magic Johnson to average 17 points a game, 6+ assists a game, 6+ rebounds a game.
All right.
As a rookie.
Yeah. Yep.
So again,
then he's doing it on a bad team.
He's doing it on a bad team. So don't give me this crap. But Jalen Green does one thing: scores.
Yeah,
and that's all he.
it.
And again, all he cares about is Jalen Green.
Yeah.
You look at all the little things that Cade's done this year, and everybody's gone with it. And again, they're going to get better on it. And again, we're going to lose. We're going to lose our last 3 games because we're playing tough competition.
Right.
Fine. Get a top 3 pick.
Yep.
Get a lottery pick.
Yeah. At this point, they got to rebuild.
Get a 4.
Yep.
Get a 5. Get a stretch 4 on there. You know what? That's what they need. They need to get bigger. They really need a legit 5. Isaiah Stewart's nice at, but he's a 6'9" center.
Right.
But he's a throwback center. So you need somebody that's a little bit more mobile in today's game in that. And I think that's what they're going to do with it on there. And again, even last week, they should have won that game last week where everybody was sick or got hurt. And then Killian Hayes had a game of his fucking life.
Yeah, I know. It's like, okay.
Now you said where it was at on there. But we see more and more of him, especially the second half. He's doing a lot better at that. So was it worth the 7? I probably would have took Halliburton still on there.
Yeah.
But look at Sacramento. They got Halliburton and they freaking trade him. Idiots. With everything. But yeah, I mean, the Lakers, we saw it coming. That's all I'm going to say is we saw it coming. We told you on there that team is old. They're not built for the long haul on there. Yeah, you're basically mortgaged the franchise for a decade for that bubble championship.
I know.
And if it's worth it for you.
If you didn't have that bubble, you'd have never had one.
You wouldn't have won that one either.
Yep. You would have came up empty.
So we got that on there. But yeah, right now, as I still say, is the way everybody's playing out there. It's probably going to be, I mean, actually the East might be, I think it's going to be between 3 teams in the East. I think Miami's starting to falter a little bit in that.
I agree.
So I think it's going to be between the Bucks, Celtics, and the Sixers.
Yep.
Especially the second half where the frickin' Celtics have been playing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, right now is like you almost have to make a legit chance that Jason Tatum is at least the top 3 for MVP.
Yeah, I think it's yeah. Well, and you're talking about those 3 teams too, really, right? You're Milwaukee and Philly are probably the other. You probably have your other MVP candidates,
Giannis
right?
and Embiid.
Yeah.
And again, I hope Embiid gets a scoring title because I don't want LeBron to get the damn scoring title.
Yeah.
Which he'll be the first center to get the scoring title since Shaq.
Nice. That'd be kind of cool, just because it'd be a better story. I mean, LeBron gets a scoring title because he's got to do everything because his team doesn't. There's nobody there, you know.
But yeah, right now it looks like honor with everybody honor, and in the West, I mean, Phoenix, Memphis, Golden State's banged up in that, so they got to get healthy and they got to get everybody back and under. And again, as we've been saying with Dallas, I mean, dude, Luka's just been. Might be your MVP the way he's been playing.
Luka, there's always an argument for me with for him to be in the MVP talks, just because he's just cold hearted about it, man.
Oh God, yes.
He's just he's one of my favorites out there, but just the way he's like I said, he's just a killer out there. Just a killer out there, and he's been playing great, obviously. So anyway, I don't know. It should be fun though. I think it'll be a fun playoff. I like the different look. I like not having the same teams and the same guys in it all the time. And then if you're gonna have a LeBron love fest, you'll have to do it in the off season now because that's all right. He'll never mind. He'll be on social media like a clown. He'll have something to say about everything on social media. Since he's not in the playoffs, I'm sure of it.
Yeah. So we got that. We got again Kansas Jayhawks and Bill Self get the championship. That's Bill Self's second championship on that. Again,
if they get to keep it.
well, yeah.
I mean, minor details.
Minor details. We'll see about that. I mean, how is he still has a job after the FBI investigation is beyond me, but, whatever. On that.
Oh, God. The NCAA is like...
Now they're talking about Krzyzewski's going to come back. He's going to change his mind and want to come back. I'm like, really? We're going to go through this frickin' again? I hope not.
Is he that thirsty for attention? I hope not. I hope not.
No.
That doesn't look good, man. Don't go down like some thirsty hoe.
No. You got to the Final Four.
Yeah.
Especially the way you guys were playing a bit earlier in the season. You were playing like garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, be happy you got as far as you did.
Yeah, you got there on there. You had the lead on there. You collapsed against North Carolina. With it, North Carolina had that huge 16-point lead in the championship game and coughed that up. And then we got Kansas winning that one. I was rooting for Villanova, but after the one guard blew out his ACL, I'm like, oh, Villanova's not going to win on it. I would have liked, again, that was the only team I was actively rooting for. And once it got to the Final Four, I wanted to see Villanova. But I knew it wasn't going to happen.
Right.
It's like, all right, Jimmy, I'm going to root for North Carolina. Just because I don't like Bill Self in Kansas. I don't like Bill Self. It's not Kansas. I just don't like Bill Self.
Yeah, well.
Oh, because he's slimy.
Well, yeah, but dude, come on, man. They're all slimy, dude.
Yes.
They're all effing slimy, and now they just get to be slimy in public.
Yes.
So now it doesn't even matter. Like, I don't even get it.
And again, can CBS start the freaking game a little earlier? Really? 9:20 it starts?
Dude, it might as well be 9:30 at night, and it's like, why would you do that? I watched, I
turned it off at halftime when North Carolina was up by 15. I'm like, all right, I'm going to bed.
I didn't even get that far. Carolina started getting
I was
up.
laying in bed watching it on the TV.
I was too.
So it's like,
Yeah,
I'm going
I
to
fell
bed.
asleep. It just wasn't that.
Again, we don't need to be starting a game on 9:20 under. Oh, the West Coast. You know what? Were they in the tournament? No.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
On a Monday, it doesn't matter.
It's on a Monday night at 9:20. You don't need it to be.
Even if you're talking West Coast, it's only a few hours. Why?
3 hours. So it's still 6:20. They're still sitting in the 401 trying to, or whatever the traffic on there to get back home.
Yeah, you're not doing anything. Like, it's stupid. It makes no sense. And guess what? Like 2/3 or more of the country's in the Eastern time zone. Right. So what in the hell are you doing?
2/3 of the population live east of the Mississippi River.
Right. What are you doing?
Yeah. Why is it the NFL is the only sport that gets it right?
I don't know.
We'll start the game at 6:30.
That's why they dominate. As much as like we cap them for for the commissioner doing. We talked about it, Moose. How often do we rip the NFL and all the crazy stuff that goes on there? But damn, they can market.
Yes.
Damn, they got this down to a science as far as putting shit on, making it easy to find, marketing the hell out of it, marketing the players, marketing the sport, marketing this like almost Disney-esque fuck BS mantra that you think like every player is a Make-A-Wish Foundation. The F out of here. And, meanwhile they got murderers and woman beaters and drug addicts and killers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so. Yeah, the way they do things and they PR and they promote, it's second to really nobody except for maybe like I said, they're like Disney, man. Like you can't go. They just everything they touch just makes money, man, and all of it. They just got it all. I mean, think about it. All the Disney kids are all messed up too. Really, if you think about it, all the Disney kids are a total hot mess.
Yeah, if you look at anybody from the new
Justin Timberlake's like the only one that made it out alive.
Well, Ryan Gosling was also a new musketeer from that. So, but I mean, you look at some of the other ones, Brittany and Christine. I'm like, they're train wrecks.
Gosh. Anyway, so there you go.
Was it Lindsay Lohan? Was it?
Absolutely.
Train wreck.
Yeah, she's the biggest train wreck.
Everybody on different strokes. Train wreck.
Yeah.
Conrad Bain, loving father, or teenage hippie cult leader.
Teenage hippie cult leader.
But yeah, I mean. Seriously, it's like, would it kill you to start the game at 8:30?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. An hour early. What's the big deal? An hour earlier.
It's 50 minutes earlier.
Right.
Start at 8:30.
Yeah. I might.
Some of us have to work on the East Coast.
Yep. I might make it to the game if it's tight, if it's interesting. I might stay up for it. But like, if I can't get into it before it's already too late, it's like, and for me, a guy like me, like for tomorrow, like I'm just like, when we're done here, Moose, I'm going to bed. I gotta be on the job at 5 a.m. So like, I'm gone, man. Like so, yeah. Sometimes people have days like that. Sometimes you have a long day on a Monday, and so they come back after a weekend, and then you did it. I'm gonna tell you something. Then you did it on WrestleMania Monday. There is a legit hangover of people that watch that crap that don't come in the next day, that call in on that Monday after the WrestleMania weekend, and then all of us that go to our job every day get a little bit of a shafty shaft. And so sometimes you have days where you get your butt kicked all day. So why are you playing it on a Monday that late at night?
Yeah.
You're just asking for a lot of guys like me to just go, I'll just catch the highlights tomorrow. Right.
I mean, that's what I'm like. I'm going to get on, and I got, and all of a sudden, I got up and I looked at the phone. I'm like, fucking North Carolina lost? What the hell happened? What happened?
See, that's what bothers me though, because I wanted to watch the whole game, not just because
I did, but I'm like, when they're up by 15, I'm like, all right, I'm going to bed, man.
That late, when I looked at it and I was seeing it was that late, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So, yeah, there was no way I was going to make it. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to make that. Maybe I'll watch I'll watch the first half, maybe. I didn't even make it that far. Yeah, if they were up by 15 at halftime, I'd have been out. I just nodded out with it on. I was like, so
exactly.
It's like, I don't know, whatever. But that's unfortunate that I didn't watch it. I had to kind of catch it all on replay and highlights and stuff. But that's all right. At least I saw a good portion of the game, I guess. Yeah, how do you collapse? I mean, like that. You have a lead like that. You got to hold on to that. That was the Cinderella story, like melting away like sugar, man.
Because they were the 8th seed on there. They didn't play that great on there, and they got a hot run on there, and you just with it. And I think in that run's probably saved Hubert Davis's job.
Yeah,
because they weren't that good last year. They were not that great last year,
right? And
this year they got in a run, so it probably saved his job at North Carolina. But again, I love the fact that they ended Krzyzewski's last year.
Yeah,
because they beat him at Cameron, his last home game.
Yep,
and they knocked him out of the damn NCAA tournament.
Yeah,
good. Sanctimonious bastards.
Yeah, there's a lot of bitter people out there like you, Moose. I don't really care. I think I would have liked the story better had he like gotten all the way to. I don't know. I don't think it doesn't really matter to me, I guess. But maybe getting all the way to the end. If so, this is my thing. I would have rather them get to the championship game and lose than have North Carolina get to the championship game and lose. If North Carolina's going to get to the championship game, I want them to win it.
Yes.
Because that's the story, right? Now, if Duke gets to the national championship game, the story was the last game.
Right.
So this game is not the story. The story is this is his last game regardless. Crush him.
Right.
For me. So, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I like that story.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been better.
And then that drama's always there, right? Oh, no, he could win it, and you don't want him to win, or you do want him to win. Either way, the drama is there.
Right.
So that, to me, is the better story. I don't really care, like I said.
I didn't really care either, but again, of all the especially with Kansas and North Carolina and Duke on there, I'm rooting for North Carolina to win it because I don't like Kansas.
Yeah, out of those,
I don't like Bill Self, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm done with Krzyzewski because he's a sanctimonious bastard.
I just feel like I was in an orgy with three dirty whores,
especially with North Carolina being their arch rival.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just like, okay, yes.
Yeah, but I mean, none of these places are clean.
None
of these places are clean. So either way you need a shower afterwards. So I don't want to hear it. Like, as far as that goes, it just is what it is. They're all dirty. They're all dirty. It's just some of them are much more clever about it. But they all do it. Now it doesn't matter. But now they can be all out in the open with it. But anyway. Still a good game, though.
Yes.
Overall.
It
as
was a
far
good
as,
game on there.
I
I just couldn't stay up and watch the whole thing because I was, I'm busier than squat.
Well, and that's the part, the one thing about it. I'm sure a lot of people are like, well, shoot, if they don't like make a run right away, but then I'm out because it was so late. But yeah, they put it together, a decent game in the end, obviously, but because they almost had Kansas really had an opportunity to lose it again in the end too, and were able to hold on and win. So, had that little bit of drama there at the end. So I don't know when it comes to the tournament, because unless your team's in there, which is how hard, because how these brackets go, and unless your team is one of the blue bloods, so to speak. But then it's all for me. It's always about the storylines. Like I want to see, wild and crazy things happen. It's the same thing, right, guys? Tiger Woods. You're talking about the storyline. You ain't watching Tiger Woods to watch Tiger Woods. No, you're watching Tigers for the storyline.
Oh God, yes.
Because Tiger can barely walk up and down the field. Can he swing pretty good? Yes. Is it amazing that he's even considering competing, let alone actually being in in the Masters? Like that's pretty impressive any way you slice it. But you're there to watch the story. Don't get it twisted.
It's all about the story.
Who knows if he makes the cut?
Right. If he makes the cut and then somehow he's in contention,
and that's
on
still
Sunday,
a great story.
Oh, and if he's in contention on Sunday, it's like huge. Because, dude, we're 14 months from him basically almost losing his leg, almost dying.
Yeah.
I mean, his leg is literally broken in in a dozen spots.
Well, he had a ton of injuries, and it's a psychological thing. And then the late part of his age. I mean, you have to go back to like Ben Hogan and his accident, to think of something.
That's the most comparable thing is Hogan almost dying,
in
that accident, and coming back and winning the U.S. Open, and Tiger literally getting in an accident and almost dying, almost losing his leg, coming back 14 months later to just be able to play golf and walk the course practicing.
Right.
Now he's going to compete under. Will he hold up for 72 holes? I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either. I honestly, I think that's.
But you know what? I think they said for him to win, it's like he's like plus like 3,500.
Yeah.
To 1.
Yeah.
It's like throw a 20 spot down.
Yeah, well, that's all going to shift because the sentiment, the money.
Oh God, yes, and especially if he gets out hot and everything with it on there. Yes, it's going to be huge. But of all courses on there, I think Augusta's the one course he could probably play well under because there's not the rough and everything with it. Yeah. I mean, would he be able to handle it playing at Whistling Straits there in Wisconsin? Oh hell no, that course is kick his ass.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Just the terrain and everything, him to be able to do that. Right. Whereas Augusta, he got some little bit of rolling hills, but it's pretty flat.
Sure.
And there's no rough.
Right.
Plus, he knows the damn course better than anybody.
Oh, yeah, that's his course.
That's his course. Yeah, he knows
he owns that course.
He owns that.
Yeah, he does. That's why he wants to come back there, because he's going to be most comfortable there.
And if he's in contention for Sunday, am I rooting for him? Oh, hell yeah, because it's a story.
Yeah, it's all about the story. I'll be rooting for the story. This is the problem. And we talk about it with other sports too, but you need to promote the other players in the game that are really, really good. You need to bring them to a Tiger Woods-esque a level of popularity in order to survive your sport. And and to grow it, and this kind of takes away from that.
Yes,
because regardless of whether Tiger's successful or not, it's going to be less TV time, less attention, less talk on somebody else. And I'm going to be real, that somebody else will probably not be in golf, so it's not as big of a deal. But if the sport wants to promote growth, it needs to promote the youth. You've got some guys that are good, and you've got some potential like drama that you could build and kind of built into some of these like rivalries and who could win. I think there's more drama when it's not dominated by one guy anyway. So like, I don't know why you would want that to go that route. So to me, I love it as far as the story goes, and I want to see the story and everything like that. But if he's not playing well, then that's it for me. It is what it is. I don't expect him to play great. The fact that he's playing is amazing. If he's only playing to play, and it's an amazing story that he's playing, that's great. But I think then that takes away from somebody else that could actually be playing and being productively helping golf grow in the long haul, as opposed to Tiger's not going to be here much longer in the sport. Honestly, I wouldn't think giving all the surgeries, even if he does try to continue his career, he won't be like doing seniors tours and stuff.
No, he doesn't need to either. But even he said too, are you going to play full time? No.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a part-time player from now on.
So,
and I think the initial was he wanted to go play a couple practice rounds. Bring his kid out, let his kid be able to play Augusta. I'm like, damn it, I want to be your kid for a day. I want to play Augusta.
Yeah, right.
On there, with it, and again, I would again, is it one of those things that I would like to go? That'd probably be the only course that, and probably St. Andrews, the only two courses I would probably want to go watch on there, with it, because I'll never be able to play St. Andrews or Augusta,
right?
But like Pebble Beach, it's a public course; anybody can play it.
Sure,
just costs you money. I mean,
right.
Yeah, if I want to play Pebble Beach, I'll probably have to put my name on the waiting list for a year and pay $400 to play 18. But again, it's Pebble Beach, so
sure.
With that, so yeah, I mean, but again, the tickets try to get tickets for Augusta is ridiculous. The one thing is they showed the sign of all their the concession stand in it, and actually, if you're going to buy a beer and have a sandwich at, it's actually reasonable. I mean, it's only like $3 for a beer. Domestic beer's like $3. Imported beer's like $4. Your ham and cheese sandwich, it's like $2.
Nice.
So it's like on there. So they haven't raised the prices on that like 30 years. And that. But yeah, I mean, but it's the Masters. I'll pay attention. And then again, if Tiger's in contention, it's going to be great. But again, there's a lot of good golfers out there with it. Do I expect him to? No, I don't expect him to be in contention. If he makes the cut, that's bonus.
All right.
So, with everything going on, and as we said, is the University of South Carolina, they manhandled UConn there in the second half there.
The defense, baby. It was all about defense with the ladies, man. They just played out of the defense. And Paige Becker shut down for the first time in her young career, really. Yeah. But it was all about that defense.
South Carolina's defense was really good.
Yeah, it was. It was all.
And again, that's with the good story there. They lose in the Final Four last year. They get back into it, and they get to it, and they win it. So yeah, it's a good story.
And they got a young lady. I forget her name now off the top of my head. Oh, I wish I would have wrote it down in my notes. Who played really well. And she got a good showcasing, and a great opportunity for her too. So yeah, very cool stories all the way around. Because like we were talking about it, your girl from Iowa, Paige from UConn, and now this girl from South Carolina. I just love it. The more these talented women play in the sport, the better it'll grow. Because quite frankly, there hasn't been a lot of chatter around women's basketball.
Destany Henderson on there, which on there was 26 points for that, and I think she was the she ended up winning the Naismith Award too for women. So yeah,
good. So yep.
Oh, but sorry, Boston. The one girl, Boston, was the Naismith winner. But it was
Boston. That's who it was.
Aaliyah Boston was the final
Boston.
On there.
That's
who
what
had
I was
on there.
about.
But yeah,
yep, it was Aaliyah Boston.
Yep. I mean, it was a good honor. Again, on a Sunday night, don't have to get it. They got it started earlier. Don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that was an easier watch than the men's as far as the time slot goes. So crazy, it makes no sense. But
absolutely no sense whatsoever on that.
So anyway, well, we've got. Yeah, we run through a lot pretty quick. But
we still got baseball predictions on there. We still got hockey. We still got some NFL trade talks. We'll get into that on there with it. So we still got that's why I said fully packed show tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. So, the baseball thing. And we'll get into, baseball going forward. And I would like to maybe break it down on the other side a little bit. Maybe some things that baseball could do. And actually, a great idea came from a very unusual source in a basketball guy. And so, and I thought it was a great suggestion that was put out there today. And I think that's kind of where we're at with baseball for me, because you know what? So, opening day, especially here, we don't ever catch a break. These games are crap here.
Oh, they're always on there. I mean, when was the last time we had they basically broke it down on 2015 was the last good opening day weather-wise.
I mean, you could move it back a month and it would just piss on the opening day.
And that's most of the time it's crap weather.
Yeah.
And
it's like going to the St. Patty's Day parade.
Yes.
It's almost always crap weather.
And opening day in Detroit is not like almost no other city in the country, because we celebrate it like no other city in the other than maybe Cincinnati. We celebrate opening day like no other under. Because again, as they said, it's like tradition. It's like spring's here.
Yeah.
We get on there. Baseball is back. Spring's here. And again, as they always say, the song of the turtle, and on the land, and spring is back in the game of baseball back, and it's great. But Jesus, can we get one damn year where it's going to be like 65 and nice out? Because again, what's going to be on Tuesday? 65 and nice.
Yeah, of course.
No, of course, if it would have been opening day on Tuesday, it'd be 45 and snowing.
Yeah,
because we don't get a break.
We don't. But that's not baseball's biggest problem. The strike wasn't baseball, or the work stoppage wasn't baseball's biggest problem. We know what baseball's biggest problem is, and that is attracting the next generation of fans. So we will not only get into the breakdown, Moose, of whatever you want to get into here, spring training, what's setting up, looking forward, whatever we got. We'll talk a little Tigers, I guess. Probably in the mix there. But I want to kind of go over this. Like I said, just a great idea, I thought, from somebody outside of MLB. And I want to kind of put that out there on the other side, because that's a little bit of a conversation. And I'm afraid if we start it now, well, you know what? We got 8. We'll run it.
No, we can tease it for the segue on there.
Okay.
We'll get into it at 9:02.
Yeah, when we get back, right? Whatever. So, so then we've got, so I'll definitely do that. Then we got NHL and some more NFL stuff. Okay. All right. Well, let's hit it early then.
Let's take a quick break here. We are DSR2 Studio 57 Radio.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, Scrappy here to tell you about That Radio Show. Hang with me as I break down the world of entertainment with great guests, celebrity interviews, awesome games with wonderful prizes. Also, we've got the biggest library of underground hip-hop of any station on the net. You mix in a little stand-up comedy and a text line so your voice can be heard, and you got a pretty good little show. But add listener-controlled programming? Yeah, you heard me. Listener-controlled programming, where you, the listener, can decide what makes it on the air. And now you've got the greatest show ever created. So join my show, your show, our show, the people's show, That Radio Show, each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, only here on Studio 57 Radio.
Hey everybody, this is your boy Big D, here to tell you about Mark for Life Tattoos. Guys, this place is the cleanest, most laid-back studio in Metro Detroit, and the artists are top-notch. And if you're like me from the D, you need to stop in on Fridays for that D-Day and get your old English D for only $20. Not interested in tattoos? Mark for Life does body piercings. Mark for Life is located at 22533 Van Dyke in Warren, and the guys are there 7 days a week from noon to 9. So give them a call at 757-2222. That's 586-757-2222. Tell them Studio Studio 57 sent you and get 20% off. So what are you waiting for? Call them now.
Hey everybody, Smokey here to tell you about Allstate Tire. With winter approaching, the most important thing between you and the road is your tires. So don't put your safety in just anybody's hands. Go to Allstate Tire. With new and quality used tires available, you can trust Allstate Tire for all your tire needs. You can visit them at 14208 9 Mile Road in Warren, or give them a call at 586-779-8759. Allstate Tire, your source for quality new and used tires.
What's happening, everybody? Scrappy here to tell you about Love and Life Club. Love and Life Club is a social networking club that's located at 19960 James Cousins. That's the Lodge Service Drive between 7 and 8 Mile Road in the D. You need to stop in for $5 Fridays for great music, food, and drinks. I personally recommend the chicken. Love and Life Club is also available for rental for bachelor parties, wedding receptions, or any party for that matter. For more information, log on to www.loveandlifeclub.com. That's loveandlifeclub.com, or call D at 313-999-2824. That's 313-999-2824. That's Love and Life Club. If you're loving life, you need to be in the club.
We are taking over this broadcast for the Ultimate Underground.
Studio 57 Radio Original. You know, when you hear that sound, you're gonna have a good time, because that's the sound of the Ultimate Underground live concert webcast from the Detroit area. We go to the most famous, or should I say infamous, venues in the D, and bring the underground music scene from the streets to your computer like nobody else can. There's only one catch. You never know when and where the Ultimate Underground is going to take over a broadcast. So you need to stay. To Studio 57 Radio all day, every day, with clues on when and where the next Ultimate Underground may happen. Now, there's no other station on the net that's going to give you this live webcast of some of the hottest artists in the D. That's the Ultimate Underground live on your home for hip-hop, rock and metal, Studio 57 Radio, baby.
Goodbye.
You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. Studio 57 is a 32-track digital recording studio that utilizes Cool Edit, Logic Pro, Shure, AKG, Sennheiser, Yamaha, Korg, Mackie, Boss, Ibanez, Fender, Fruity Loops, and many, many more to make your music pop. Experienced and friendly engineers make Studio 57 feel like you're home away from home. With beat creation, mixing, mastering, digital media conversion, and DJs for any event, Studio 57 Records is your one-stop shop for all your music entertainment needs. We have online bill pay and flexible payment schedules. That makes Studio 57 the place to be. For more information, visit Studio57records.com. That's www.studio57records.com, or call us at 586-420-3390. That's 586-420-3390, or log on to Studio57records.com. And just remember one thing, baby. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets. You get what you want, cause we got what you need. Studio 57, serving streets of the D. Recording, mixing, mastering, or great beats. We do what we do to keep you hot on the streets.
Party people, this is the original Doc Ice, and you are definitely listening to Studio 57 Radio. And if Studio 57 Radio isn't on, then your radio ain't really on. Check that.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57 Radio.
I don't know what I'm doing. Welcome back, Rebels, to second hour of DSR2. And yes, we're clowning, we're having fun, we're goofing. It's all good, baby. It's all good. Studio 57 Radio across the board on social media, as you know. Get in on the conversation. We'd love to have you. Talk to a little Tiger Woods, a little Bron, NBA, the Lakers, and other stuff. And yeah, we're having fun. We're gonna get into some MLB. Yeah, that's what I think. No, totally professional radio. And some other stuff. So, buckle up for another wonderful hour of DSR2. So, let's get into it without further ado. Let's do what we do on DSR2. I'm Scrappy, and here's Johnny the Moose.
Hey, we're back here for the second hour of DSR2 on this Wednesday here in April. It is on there. So we talked a lot about the NBA action. Lakers not making the NBA playoffs. Yay, we called it. We predicted it. You know, well, we didn't predict them how we said they struggle and maybe get a play-in. But, yep, they're out on there. So we talked about that. We talked about the college basketball. We talked about the Final Four. And, again, Scrappy didn't want Duke to get to the finals and lose. I was just happy that Krzyzewski lost on there. And we even talked a little bit about the women's game there, too, as well. And even the Masters, believe it or not. We talked a little bit about that. And Tiger Woods making playing in this Masters, and we'll see how far he can go and how well he can play in that. So again, we still got lots here to talk about. As we said, we got baseball. The season starts tomorrow. We got NHL hockey going on there as well. Plus, we got a little bit of NFL with some trades and basically the stupidity of the silly season of basically mock drafts and everything.
Of course, that is the silliest season of all, and I'll throw a little mania action in the mix there. But before we dipped out on our break, I was telling you I heard one of the greatest ideas, I think, in a minute. Over this great debate that we have about what baseball can do to kind of fix itself. Moose, we've talked about it a million times on here, and so have all the talking heads. Baseball is just kind of dying a slow death, it feels like, from a fan base standpoint, especially. And they've tried all kinds of weird tricks and doing all this goofy stuff and guy on second and all this other nonsense. And that's cute, but it doesn't work. And what I think was a great idea, I heard from Mark Cuban, of all people, today. And he says, like, why is this sport not taking advantage of the fact of how interactive it can be? Why is there not an app that, like, these kids can access, and they can have access to every play from every time one of their favorite players does something, you get the clip. So if there's a game on and somebody jacks a home run and he's on your preferred player list, you get that clip to your phone.
Yeah, you get a little notification.
You get a notification, it pops up. Now you see the video of what he just did.
Right.
Just happened minutes ago in the game. That is a very small but very crucial tool if you think about that.
Yes.
If you think about how that's only like one little branch off this tree of what this idea really is and what it really could be, and you're damn right. That we talked about a little bit. We kind of hinted to this when we talked about the gambling aspect in as much as we goof about the degenerate gambling network here in Detroit. It's baseball is best suited for in-game betting, and that you should be working with with DraftKings or whoever you got to work with, so that you can do betting, on your phone live during the game. In-game betting. The game is slow enough that you can watch the game, enjoy the game, and take bets live during game time. Like in real time with real time odds.
Right.
And that should be something that the MLB should, embrace. It's a tool. This is way better.
Yes.
The Mark Cuban idea is way better, where you're an app where all that access is there. And then since you've picked these players, you could, or these teams, all the information about them, all this press and all this positive things that, you would probably like to read and see and hear about should all be funneling through that app as you, the user, decide what you like. Not just by pumping stuff into the settings, but based on your traffic and your movement and what you're doing. I think all of those should come into play, and I think that would be an amazing, amazing tool for MLB to reach the youth.
Oh yeah, and it should be a free app.
Absolutely. No,
because MLB will do something stupid. You can get it for $9.99 a month.
Oh
no,
yeah,
no, we
F
want
you. That's
make it free so you can recoup it on there and get the fans back involved and get a younger demographic and that becomes fans again.
This has to be 100% free.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this can't be anything like that. Like, the only time you're going to do anything that you're going to charge extra for would be, gosh, I can't think of anything that you should be charging ancillary extra for, but definitely not for
not right now on there.
Yeah.
I mean, again, even like the MLB package, if you want to even listen to the games and everything with it, should be free.
Right.
I can listen on my phone or my tablet.
Yeah.
You know what? I live in California, but I grew up in Detroit. I'm a Tiger fan or whatever. Yeah. Then I want to be able to watch and listen to those games free of charge.
Yeah, out of market.
It should be.
Yeah.
Right now, to get fans back involved in it, get a younger fan base back involved with the baseball.
Yep.
But they're not going to, because you have a commissioner that hates the sport.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the big problem too, and it's the same kind of thing we talked about with boxing, right? Like, when boxing was on every Sunday on ABC or whatever.
Oh God, yes.
Boxing was at the forefront, and boxing was popular, and when they
championship bouts were on network TV, free,
right? So that's when the sport was at its highest. Like, guys, you have to reach the audience. I know it's cute we get on here and everybody can stream and everybody can reach everybody, but no. There's so much crap out there that you can't reach people like that, because, and then you have to put out compelling content, and it's not as easy as y'all think. So that's all part of these things that play into what's going on. And the MLB, they're just greedy sons of bitches. At least with the NFL, with their greed, they still put out so much free content.
Yes.
If you think about how much content the NFL puts out and doesn't charge you for, I mean, I guess you're going to pay a little extra for the sports tier if you want, like, Red Zone or something like that. But for the most part, all your NFL stuff is, like, pretty readily available. You're going to get how many games a week for free. You're going to get so much access as far as, like, the programming and the apps and stuff. And then, in a lot of cases, your NFL networks and those expansions, you'll get all that stuff for free just by using things that you're kind of already using, right? Like, if you're a Verizon customer for a long time, you had access to everything on the NFL network for free on your phone, your mobile device. Mm-hmm. So, like, the NFL has already kind of used those tactics in the past. So why not mimic that? And like you said, where they're at now, they need not be charging for a damn thing. They need to get their product in as many houses as humanly possible, because they ain't getting it done right now. So I don't know. I just put it out there. I just thought it was a great idea, not something I thought I would hear even asked of Mark Cuban. So it was an interesting question to an interesting person with a very good, a very smart answer. And now you know why the guy's a effing millionaire.
Billionaire.
Yeah, well, whatever. Sorry. I forgot. I'm like Dr. Evil. $1 million. Oh, wait. Million's not a lot? No. $1 billion. Okay. Anyway, so that's there. So the mock draft season of the NFL just makes me laugh. All these idiots get on here and have 52 mock drafts. There isn't a single mock draft of integrity in the history of mock drafts.
No.
None of them. These guys are all they're the equivalent of 84 bracket guy.
Yes.
You know, I got 84 different brackets.
And with all their mock drafts on there, they're still maybe hitting 3%.
Well, yeah, and still Barb from accounting whoops their ass.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter in the end.
With that, I mean, you hear on it, it's with it on there, and again, it's like the latest on there is Jacksonville going after Aiden Hutchinson. I don't believe they're going after Hutchinson. I still think they're going to take an offensive tackle. That's the smart damn thing to do. Draft a tackle, keep your franchise quarterback upright.
Oh yeah, I agree, but do they do that? Just because that's the right thing to do.
You could get still a good pass rusher in the second round.
I agree.
Keep that damn get that left tackle. Keep Trevor Lawrence upright.
I agree. I just don't think they'll do it because
they're Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's Jacksonville. I mean, and then maybe they feel that position can be had in the second round.
You know what? I don't see.
I'm just saying, if that's what they think and that's how their board's laid out, that's what I'm saying. Like, are you in every single war room? You putting your mock draft together, dumbass thing? You're just pulling stuff out of the air. I could literally put every single team and every single draft pick on a board, throw darts at it, put together a mock draft based on the darts I just threw, and it would be just as accurate as any of this other shit. It'd mean about as much as any of these other mock drafts, and it would make probably more sense than most of them. It's just the weirdest thing for me, Moose. I get the whole mock draft, who should draft. We talk about it. We'll kind of get into it, but putting out mock draft after mock draft after. That's why we wait till we get closer. Right. We let all these guys do this stuff, and then when we get closer to our draft special, we've kind of had the conversation. We're not like putting out a mock per se, but we've had our conversation. We've talked about what we expect to see kind of roll in the first round, roughly, especially the notables, and then we keep it moving because, quite frankly, that stuff is insane. You don't know what these cats are thinking and who they have on their board, and everything is a smokescreen.
Yes.
Unless you're, Quinn. Unless you're Quinn Trisha, then you're just an idiot.
You're in bona fide idiot, or again, Dave Gettleman.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, here locally on there, again with on there is they're talking about, the Lions should inquire about DK Metcalf on there. Well, yeah, if they on there. Now, the story is the Jets offered Seattle the number 10 pick overall in the first round for Metcalf, and they said no.
Wow.
So you what are you going to do? Offer them 32, and they're going to look at you on there. First of all, I like Metcalf and that for the right honor, but then you're going to have to pay him. He's a free agent after this year.
Right.
I don't know if I want to pay that kind of money because I don't think he is on par with Devontae Adams or Stephon Diggs or anybody on there. He's big, he's physical, he's fast, but he's a malcontent.
Right.
He's a diva.
That's part of the problem too. Yeah.
And again, does he have great hands? No.
Yeah.
He doesn't run that great routes either. He's fast and he's big. That's it. He's very fast. We've seen that on that Sunday night game where he chased down Budda Baker, who was very fast too, and he chased. You go, holy shit!
Yeah.
Is he fast? But again, no. I'm not giving up. Again, you know what? I'm not going to pay a guy in there. That's like the same thing too. Oh, we need to talk about Deshaun Watson. No, I'm not giving up 3 first rounders and 2 second round picks for Deshaun Watson. Because then you basically got here it is. We got you, but the cupboard's bare.
Right. Yeah, that's what happens when you do that stuff. People don't get it. Just
But yeah, I mean, I'll draft a receiver. I mean, you're going to have a good receiver there with either at 32 or 34.
Yeah,
you're still going to get on there. Yeah. And again, I think we get in is they got to draft. And again, I don't hear about Jordan Davis either around there. Dude, defensive end. Again, if we can sucker somebody to trade down and get 2 draft picks out of it. Yeah, great. If the Giants come calling, we'll give you the 5 and 7 for number 2. Yes, you will.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Sure. absolutely. But
Yeah, and you can also give us your second round too. Yes, we'll give you our second round. We need to pull a Jedi mind trick, but I think we're going to be stuck at 2, and we'll take the best defensive end available.
yeah, I think that's what it's at.
You've got 3 that you could take at number 2.
Yep.
Whether
Yeah.
if Hutchins is not there, you still got Thibodeau and Walker.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
I'll take either of them. All right, so would I take? Am I thrilled about taking Walker too? No, but if we move down to 5, I'll take Walker at 5, and I got this number 7 pick under. Then I can get Drake Loudon as my receiver. Boom, I'm all set.
Yep. Yeah.
And then I got linebacker
that's what I did.
on the linebacker and safety
so
at 32 and 34. Bam!
Yep.
I adjusted all my needs under. Now I'm filling out depth.
Yeah. I mean, that in a perfect world, but you already know what's going to happen here. It's not. This is not a perfect world.
No.
So it's you're gonna get stuck at 2 more than likely. I don't see anybody unless someone panics at the last minute and feels they need to come up to 2 to get a quarterback or something crazy like that. Or I don't know. I just don't know. I don't see it. So I think you're stuck at 2. Yeah, defensive end is where it's at, and a lot. So it is what it is. In a perfect, like I said, in a perfect world, we get what you were just saying, but there's so many other variables, right? Like, who knows what all these other cats are thinking and what they're going to do. Anything could happen. We could get lucky, and some cats could fall in the right place, and we could end up with a pretty decent draft regardless. I'm hoping that's been a bugaboo for the Lions for a long time. There was a bit of an era where we drafted pretty good because we were drafting high for so many years. But it didn't translate into anything. So hopefully this time through they get it right. But, when you look at the draft, I'm not sure who would be a trade partner to get out of, out of that 2 spot.
Yeah, somebody's got to panic and say, "Oh my God, I got to make sure it's on there," because Carolina's probably going to look at a quarterback. Well, then we need somebody below them to panic and say, "Oh my God, I got to do a move up and grab a quarterback." Wise, on there, yeah. But and then we got maybe New Orleans might be that guy where they need to get a quarterback.
Well, maybe.
Maybe, but then you're moving to 16 and 19, and to move up from 2 to 16 and 19 to 2, then you're going to have 16, 19, and a second rounder. Now, if we get 16, 19, and a second rounder, that means we've got 3 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and 2 third-round picks.
Yeah, but they're not going to be able to do anything all in the same year. That's going to have to get spread out.
It'd be smart. And then we package that up and we give the 32 pick and give that to somebody else, and we go from there and on it. But yeah, I think the Lions will try. I think they're going to trade the 32 pick more than that second round pick, the second number 2.
Yeah,
pick.
you think that one will be more likely?
Yeah, because somebody's going to want to move back up into the first round.
Gotcha. You're going to get 2 second
Especially
rounders.
because you know what it is you get 2 second rounders, or with that, because somebody's going to want, especially if they're looking at a quarterback that might be there with it, move into it. That way they're able to give that 5th year option, especially for a quarterback.
Gotcha.
It's a huge deal. So and again, if we get a second and a number 2 this year and a number 1 next year, I'm doing it. Okay, yeah, you got to, because 32 is just like a second round anyways. The only difference is that 5th year option. So if we can get like a number 38 pick in the second, it's like which would be the early top of the second round, and a first round next year, jump on it. With it, Stephon Diggs signed a new contract, $124 million deal, 70 million guaranteed.
More and more of these guaranteed contracts, man. They're just getting higher and higher.
Higher and higher and higher. But again, I don't mind that one because dude's ball.
Yeah,
He's getting proven over even when he was Minnesota, and especially the way he's played with Buffalo on it, and the rapport he's got with Josh Allen, and basically how he's played and kind of taken Josh, especially last year when he took Josh Allen under his wing and said, "We're going to make you a really good quarterback," and he did. So I don't mind that one whatsoever.
And they know the drill. The salary cap's going to go up and up and up.
Yes, up and up. It's not going down.
So you just keep rolling, and then you defer and you just keep doing stuff like that. So, I mean, that's how Brady was able to keep the Patriots good for so long.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just deferring his money, and they were
Putting it
packaging it in other ways and moving it around and doing all that, and he still kind of got his money, but they just took advantage of the salary cap rules and the fact that they would change and go up. Hate the game, baby.
Hate the game. So, yeah, we'll get into, and especially next week, we'll really get into kind of some mock drafts and that, because we got, maybe not next week or the week after that, because we're, 3 weeks away for tomorrow from the NFL draft.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. So we get more into it, more depth into it, usually that week before.
Yep. So we'll get into that. We'll basically do some predictions on there as well. And again, if I can hit the hot streak I hit when we did our first Thursday night mock draft special on there, on it, and I was like 10 for 10 going down the stretch in that. Hopefully, I can do that until everybody kiss my ass. I am the real NFL guru.
Yeah, we can get rid of McShay and
and Angry Bird.
And Angry Bird, yes.
It's Johnny the Moose, NFL guru. On that.
But you can't have mock draft fucking 52.7 or whatever the fuck they got going on.
God, no.
That's annoying.
So we still got lots here on it, but yeah, we'll get into that. And then again, we got the hockey season wrapping up here as well.
I love me some playoff hockey. It's gonna be the same thing though with the NBA. I love me some playoff NBA games. Those, I don't know, some of those like night games and some of those good matchups. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. So the hockey's got, how many games we got left in the NHL season? Like 10?
10, like 12 to 10 to 12 games.
Depending, yeah.
Detroit, Winnipeg are tied 1-1 at the end of 2. But yeah, there's a lot of teams playing for that spot on there. And with the Wings on there, like with last night they won against Boston, and there was a little Donnybrook, especially between I think Larkin and Marchand. But Brad Marchand's a rat.
Yeah,
he is a rat.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you always see that the cartoon under the evolution of Brad Marchand.
Yeah,
it's like human. And he looks more and more rat-like. Yeah. So
that's funny.
With that, and again, we know we're going to probably get a new coach on there. I think Blashill will be let go after this year.
Oh my goodness, he's gotta be gone. I don't know what to say.
And again, I think the only two players on this team that are untouchable right now are going to be Lucas Raymond and Sider.
Yeah. Sider better not go anywhere.
No, they're not going to get rid of Sider. Dude, he's going to win your Calder, and he's going to win. And again, he will win. Well, so I think, again, the way he's playing and what you progress, because he's, 21 now?
Yeah, 21, I think, 22.
He's going to win. He'll be a multiple Norris Trophy winner on there, so with that. So, yeah, and again, with all the guys on there, definitely is the pluses on there coming down the pipeline with Eisman on there. We still haven't found out the reason why they fired Al Sabaka last week. We haven't heard anything on that.
Did you see the April Fool's thing that was going around?
Yeah, that Eisman resigned.
Yeah, it was funny.
I was like, look, I'm like, what? Wait, it's April Fool's. I'm getting pissed. I'm like, wait, it's April Fool's.
Yeah,
you rat bastards.
Yeah, I was looking at everything with a skeptical eye. As soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's what he did, right? He quit because of the Zamboni driver got fired.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Jackass.
God damn it. It's April 1st. Am I
move,
reading anything online right now?
Flip. There we go.
And she missed. And she came down kind of awkward.
On her knee.
Yeah. And she got punched in the face.
Good. Good enough punch.
Well, yeah, she's supposed to be the bad guy, apparently. When she got sprayed in the face, she was a good guy. Then she got sprayed in the face with some mist by a bad guy, and now she's acting like a bad guy. and she's got pink panties on. Just that's more information than anybody wanted, but I just noticed the way she wedgied her. Poor girl's probably gonna need to retrieve some material.
All right, so yeah, we got down there with it. I think Sider's got the most assists by a rookie defenseman since. For the Wings, it's all the way back to Lindstrom.
Oh yeah! Wow.
So point wise on there again, shocker. Connor McDavid's leading for points.
Yeah. He's God's gift to hockey right now.
Yes, dude. Don't resign with Edmonton. Come here.
Oh, that would be amazing.
We will appreciate you better down there, and we will be better than Edmonton.
Yeah.
I mean, how many on there? So yeah, we got that on there. But yeah, it's gonna be goals and everything with it. It's just interesting on there. Austin Matthews on, but yeah, it's interesting with everything going on in hockey with it. I mean, one of these days, Edmonton's actually gonna be good.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Consistently.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to there's a lot. They just got to get in, right? Like you get into the playoffs and you're good. The problem is like you said, having enough consistency that you can do that and make some noise. But I don't know. I'm waiting for Detroit, man. I know Edmonton. It's been a minute, but like we've been hungry for this in Detroit. I mean, we got nothing.
I mean, we've been hungry, but again, Toronto, they've been.
Yeah, they're
going on 60 years.
They be starving. They like the Lions. It's like the Lions.
1967, the last time the Maple Leafs won a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, it's all right. Lions fans can relate. It's even longer.
Yes.
Whole nother decade, really.
Yeah.
Yikes.
We went longer than us or Guardian fans for Cleveland because it's like 1948 or something like that. That's the last time they won a World Series.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the droughts, man. Some of those. It's weird that we say that too, because and sports does a pretty good job of parody. I mean, the NBA seems to starting to get a little more parody for the first time in a lot, and forever. It feels like it's always been, a handful of dominant teams, but now it feels like it's a little bit more balanced, but not like the NHL, man. Like when you get to playoff time, it's a pick 'em.
It's still on there. People are griping about like how unfair the NCAA tournament is. Well, it's one and done. Is that really the bet? I mean, that's the worst way to pick a championship out there. I'm like, is it really? You got to win. I mean, plain and simple. I mean, what do you want them to do? You can't go best out of 3 for basketball.
How about this? Look at the effing ratings. Right. Look at the ratings. Oh, Look at what it's pumping in. Look what people are watching. Look how good. Dude, shut up. There isn't another sporting event outside the Super Bowl that does these kind. The Super Bowl beats it, and that's it. So this is basically 2 to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
As far as
because Super Bowl's got on there, and I think the highest rated other sport other than the Super Bowl was NCAA basketball. And again, the highest rated of that all time was Michigan State and Indiana State, Bird versus Magic.
Right. So I mean, come on, let's be real about it. It's not even a whatever. You're trying to fix something that ain't broke.
It's fine on there. I mean, it's not like on there. And again, what's the best way to pick the championship? It's obviously still the Stanley Cup playoffs. It is the best.
Yes.
It is the hardest championship to win, and it's the best damn playoffs. Period.
Absolutely. Yep.
Because again, it's a marathon. You have to win 16 games over 4 rounds, and it's every other night. It's a marathon.
Yeah, and in a sport like hockey, that's no joke. I can't believe like hockey plays that many games when you really think about the physicality involved in that sport. That they play a similar season to the NBA, and the NBA is not nearly as physical.
No,
it's much more cardio, but than it is physical. But like, I don't know how much more the cardio is over. You're still it's still cardio and skating really fast. I mean, let's be real. So
right, because you're just not jogging up and down. You're going all out for a 2-minute shift, and you're exhausted.
Sure,
because you're got all that equipment and on skates and getting beat up and hammered on there, dude. And don't give me this crap. Well, soccer players are the best. Oh, what? You're the best actors. Is what you are.
Yeah. So the wind blows. You act like you got shot out of a cannon.
You look like Kennedy.
It's crazy. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. It's so crazy. So I'll never get that one. It just makes me laugh, though.
So, on there. So we got MLB starting tomorrow on there. As we said, we talked a little bit about that app on it, which, again, dude, if I'm MLB, I'm like telling
Mark Cuban, get your people on this. We'll pay you.
We'll pay you.
Get your people on this.
Develop it on there. We'll pay you whatever you want.
Yeah, great idea.
And we're going to put it out there as a free app with that on there. But, yeah, I mean, I saw on there is some of the picks on there to on there, like somebody just posted on there is that the Tigers are picked to finish 4th on there. That we're only going to win 73 games this year, but we won 77 last year, and we've gotten a better this year.
They think we're going to get worse. I was going to say that's weird.
That's what I said. I'm like, really?
Hopefully we don't get worse. I mean, I don't expect this to get a whole lot.
I think we're gonna be better. We made some better moves on there.
Sure.
Baez at shortstop is going to be a huge improvement. Eduardo Rodriguez is again a nice signing on there as another pitcher. And again, you're going to have Torkelson starting at first base. The dude has unlimited power potential, and Riley Green will be back probably by June. And you made a trade and you got Austin Meadows from Tampa, and you gave away Paredes. All right, good. He's not playing here anyway, so yeah.
All right.
Our outfield's going to be really good because you can put Meadows in, you can put him at left, you're going to have Riley Green at center, and you'll probably have Baddoo in right.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what the hell? I mean, the White Sox have never won back-to-back titles or divisions on there ever. They've never won in their 122-year history with it. And then other than 2020 and 21, that was the first time they went to back-to-back playoffs ever.
Wow. Really?
Yes.
Just doesn't seem like that.
With that. And then I'm not buying Minnesota. I mean, it's smoke and mirrors with Minnesota. Yeah, they're a little better on it, but I'm still not buying it. And again, Cleveland, really? Cleveland? The Guardians? Yeah. They got rid of everybody. Yeah, they signed Jose on there for a new contract for $124 million. But no, we're going to be better than them. We should finish second in the division. We should. I think they're going to finish 500, maybe a little better. If they get 85 to 8, if they get around 88 wins somehow, then they could win the division. We still have the best manager in baseball. You can keep Tony La Russa and his 150-year-old and his bad dye job.
Oh God,
dude, you're 70-something years old. Face it, nobody buys it that you're gray, that you have black hair still.
Yeah, jet black hair.
You're gray. Face it, and you're drunk.
Yeah, that's why he's so. Anyway, over the top with this.
So yeah, with everything on there, and I think the East. Right now, I think the East. It's gonna probably be Blue Jays and the Rays battling out for the East.
Yeah.
On there, West. It's Houston to win or lose.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you as far as Houston goes. Yeah, they have to get the depth and pitching.
They got the depth. Verlander's back. Verlander's throwing mid-90s without any strain whatsoever. He's still getting up to 98 on it when he needs to. Yeah. 39 years old, man.
That's amazing. And then the surgeries and
the core surgeries, and he come back from the 2 years out of his Tommy John.
Yeah,
and he's like,
yeah, that's amazing. I give Verlander credit for that. I mean, geez, that is no joke.
And then I think on the East is going to be the NL East is going to be the funnest division to watch because I think the Braves are really good still. Mets are good. Mets, I mean, we'll see how Scherzer and DeGrom. We'll see on how DeGrom does, but they got Scherzer now, so they're spending the money on there. And I think Philly's definitely better this year as they've been on there as well. Milwaukee winning the Central and probably the Cardinals. Yes, they did re-sign. Pujols came out of retirement.
Jesus.
Divorced
Really?
his wife after she had brain surgery. Filed for divorce.
Wow.
But he's 21 home runs of getting from 700. So does he have a shot at 700? Yeah, we'll see on that. And the West will be the Dodgers. I mean, because they got more money than God.
Yeah, they got to figure out some kind of salary cap thing too to get some competitive.
They
balance.
have to, and the
Same
owners,
thing with a floor. They need to put a floor.
they need a floor and a ceiling on there as well with that. And again, I think everybody's going to see is what Ohtani can do. You know, on there, can he stay healthy, play a full year? Another one on there, pitching wise. I mean,
Sure.
can he be a 30-30 guy? Because last year he had 26 stolen bases and I think like 29 home runs. So can he be a 30-30 and pitch too? So
Well, with the DH situation, how's that going to work?
he'll DH. Well, again, he could hit too, so they probably won't even. And he'll be DH the games he don't pitch. I mean, the guy that kind of has that kind of power and down there, you got to let him bat. He's not like a $105 pitcher. I mean, hit on there. I think it's gonna be fun with the National League getting the DH net. So you'll see, it's gonna be funner. It's actually gonna be a better product, I think,
Right.
because nobody wants to see pitchers bat
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've talked about
unless
it
you're
before.
Ohtani.
Yeah, sure.
Then he's a freak of nature.
Yeah, yeah. No, we talked about it before. Yeah, for sure. I don't want yo, what's happening, Juan? Appreciate everybody for hanging out, Wallace and Jay and everybody. Text line's open as well for you guys who want to get in on that. Talking a little bit of the baseball. We were chatting hockey. We're talking a little bit of everything, whatever you want to throw on the table. We'll get to it. I'm going to throw a little mania at the end here. So all that good stuff and more in our last 20. So yeah, I to me it's all about like baseball's a long season, man. So we get into all this stuff and where and who and what, dude. It's 100 and I mean, how many games do they need 180 effing games? Like this season is a long sports season.
I think realistically, I think the 162 is way too much on there.
I do too.
I think again the 154 would just be a little bit. I mean, again, what does it shave off about 10 days?
Yeah. Well, we talked about it a little bit before, and there's tons of little subtle things that
And if you have some true
baseball can
double
do.
headers on there with it, you could actually finish. Essentially, is finished before the. I mean, start in mid-April and you're still done by like the last week of September, and then you can finish the World Series. You don't need to go into November.
Right. So it's just, I know they pushed it back and whoop-de-woo, and maybe a shorter season will actually be better for them. I don't know. But I just, when it comes to thinking about like division winners and how that's all going to play out, Moose, we'll be at our midsummer break before I'll even look at the league.
Right.
It's just there's too much going on with the NBA and everything else, and MLB, we alluded to earlier, can't get out of its own way. So,
I mean, locally, we'll probably pay a little bit of attention because Miggy is real close to his 3,000.
yes, he's got milestones. I was about to say, if you have a player that's got milestones and stuff like that, I think that might be a thing. But like, I don't know, compelling stories. We haven't seen anything develop. We'll see how it plays out. So you know how I am. I'm watching for the stories, man. Baseball is not entertained me beyond a storyline in a long time. So you got to give me something here. So I want to see the Yankees fall apart again. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Kind of like, that's going to be what kind of conversation is that going to be when if the Yankees are horrible again? And you got an extra playoff game this year,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah. So yeah, I mean, we got an extra team out
Yeah,
there.
you got an extra playoff team.
Right. So yeah, hopefully the Tigers are in contention and make a playoff run. That'd be great.
That would be cool, just to really, just be in the conversation at the end for a team like that. So anyway, there's your baseball hit. So I was telling you earlier, Moose, I watched more wrestling in the smallest amount of time than ever, dude. Mania weekend is the coolest thing, and I could not watch Mania. Like, I could have totally not watched WrestleMania, and been fine with it, because every other promotion under the sun converged on Dallas and did shows, and I watched Moose, I don't know, 12 or 15 shows. All of them were over 2 hours. Most of them were around the 3 to 4 hour mark. And that was before I even got to WrestleMania. And yeah, it was 2 days, so I got 8 hours of WrestleMania too. I didn't know that you could. I mean, it was the wildest thing I've ever seen. You would have literally one dude at a promotion wrestling a guy live. It's live stream. I'm watching it live as it happens. The show ends. I go to another one. There's one after another. Go to the other one, and the dude walks in and has a match that was just on the other show 20 minutes ago. Live.
Did you walk across the street?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It is amazing. So, like, GCW held like 4 different events and one venue. So they were running all the time. And then, so since they were running all the time, all these other companies were running around too. So yeah, you were seeing guys just popping in and just like going across the street, going next door, and popping up again. It was awesome. It was like the Forbidden Door was like one of those rotary doors at the hospital. It was spinning really fast. All you had to do was get in it. It would launch you, launch in, launch you out, launch in, launch out. It was awesome. It was the best thing about Mania weekend. And really the best match was nowhere near WrestleMania either. So out of all the matches that happened over the weekend, at least the ones that I saw, and I saw a butt ton of them. But when you really think about Mania, that's what I like about it. It's a big spectacle. It is larger than life. It's like it transcends the sport in that aspect. Like mainstream media gets involved, and they always have celebrities, and people kind of enjoy it as an event more than think of it as like a wrestling show. Like even at the WrestleMania, it's not the typical fans. Like when you watch WrestleMania, they don't cheer the way they do on Raw every night. When you get to the Raw after, it's still the same WrestleMania crowd. It's all encompassing in your tickets, right? So it's the same crowd, and that show is always weird because the crowd is just like, first they're burnt out because there was so much WrestleMania, but secondly it's just it's how do I want to say it? It's all the ancillary things that come around WrestleMania that makes it great. It's not is really my point. It as cool as the show is, and it is what it is, the crowd is just different because it brings in so many different people, and that's where I was going with that. Is that it's they'll boo people that they normally would cheer and all that kind of stuff. So, and they'll react to certain spots totally different. So you see that in the show after the shows right after WrestleMania. So, but it not only brings on all these great wrestling shows, but it really brings a lot of stuff going on. It's kind of like having a big event, and so all the towns, all the venues are filling up, and all the shows are going on around it. So there's all these jobs that are getting going, and it's like it really stimulates. It pumps a lot of money into the local economy. And they had it in Jerry's World, so that's when you have WrestleMania in Jerry's World, that's probably the closest thing he's going to get to a championship, really, when Roman Reigns walks in. And speaking of Roman Reigns, they did the Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns unification match. That isn't a unification match because they're not unified in the belts. He's still gonna have to defend them separately. And then at some point in time or another, probably around next WrestleMania, they will reveal all new belts. And one will be for SmackDown and one will be for Raw, so that each network will have a thing. They'll do a big build to it, hopefully for a year, and fans that want belts will be waiting for another year for those and other belts. But I'll get into that in a second, maybe as we get off the air. But Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns had this match, and we all know Brock's history.
Yeah.
You know, does MMA. He's a collegiate wrestler, like, you know, and he was a UFC heavyweight champion. So he utilizes a lot of, you know, shoot techniques to make his wrestling look more real, even though he's got like the F5 and all the traditional suplexes, of course, Suplex City and all that. But he does utilize. So during the match, he had Roman Reigns at a Kimura lock. And he's like, well, he's working the lock, and they're fighting it back and forth. And the idea is that he's going to kind of yank it and try to get this lock. And so they're working that angle. And that match, guys, I'm telling you, when I watched this match, I knew right away that somebody got hurt. I didn't catch where exactly it happened watching it because I didn't notice. I'll tell you, it was, you know, because they're selling when they're supposed to and they're not when they're not, right? If they're doing their job right, then you can't tell when they got hurt because they're acting like they're hurt every time something comes, right? You know what I mean? So I wasn't sure exactly until afterwards when I saw the picture of Roman's arm, but I knew because they took it home early. So you had like these segments and you did all this stuff and you cut things and you move things around so you got enough time for the main event, and then you cut that thing like 10 minutes short of your time. I'm like, wait a minute. And so now that I've worked enough, you catch the things that you wouldn't catch before. And I saw, you know, they took it home early. And usually when you take it home early, someone, you know, took something. They're not tripping about it. They don't need to be carried out of here, but we're done. This match is over. I need to go get this looked at.
Right.
And and so I was like, ooh, they took it home early. I'm like, I wonder what happened. And then Roman went to like get the pose, the money shot. You got your money shot every time. So you're standing there holding the belt. You won, you're holding it over your head, whether it's in the corner to the fans. If you're a heel, you'd be standing over the guy, whatever. And that's what he was doing. He was standing over Lesnar and he was going to raise both of them up because he's got, he won both. And he couldn't get one of his arms. Like, he did like this. He had one up and he was like, and he got up and you could see his face straighten and he was like turning red. And I'm like, yeah, he's not that good. Like, he's not, you could tell he was struggling to get that whatever 15-pound belt up in the air. And so I was like, ooh, he got hurt. So he's got a triceps injury or biceps injury. He's got a nasty bruise. He might have separated something in there when they were working that Kimura and just, he got, Lesnar's just strong, dude. He's a beast. And he just jacked his arm up. So I'm willing to bet when we get to SmackDown on Friday, Roman will be there, but they're gonna find a way to give him some time off, write him off TV, whatever, and try to put this thing off for a couple months because they want to continue this run. And if he can be down, 6 weeks or less, I think they keep it running. It's not going to be like where they'll pull the belt off him. Like on other guys, they'll pull the belt off guys if they can't defend that quickly. But I don't think they're going to do that. So, but I think they want to keep that thing running. So yeah, WrestleMania. The best match wasn't at WrestleMania over the weekend. It was for Ring of Honor. It was the Briscoes versus FTR tag team match. And that was by far the best match of WrestleMania weekend. Like I said, I watched like 60 flipping hours of wrestling in 3 days, and They're like, when did you sleep? I'm like, I really didn't sleep that much. Slept a few hours a night, really. No, it wasn't quite 60 hours, but you know what I mean. It was like 40 hours or 30 hours in 2 days. I'm like, Jesus, this is crazy. So yeah, and then Mania was only okay. You know, they had Logan Paul, and it was terrible. Johnny Knoxville's stuff was hilarious. I mean, it's just goofy, dumb stuff. But dude, he Andy Kaufman the shit out of that show. It was amazing.
I like all those idiots from Jack.
They had them all. Wee Man slammed Sami Zayn. Wee Man did. Sami Zayn's like 6'1". Wee Man slammed him. Picked him up and power slammed him. Or just, body slammed him. Like, I'm like, how did Zayn even flip under that thing and catch that? It was amazing. So yeah, it was pretty silly. But it was Mania was it wasn't too bad, I guess. It was one of their better shows they've had in years. Mainly because of the pandemic and stuff, but a lot of it's been just bad creative, and they haven't really developed the new artists. They brought in Cody Rhodes. Cody left this company here that we were watching now. Yeah, we talked about that before. He showed up, of course. It was no surprise. Worst kept secret in sports entertainment, but so they did that, and it was okay. You could tell they hadn't worked together, and it was a little sloppy, but it was all right. It wasn't bad. I don't know. It wasn't the best, really.
Stone Cold
was cool. That was neat. They played it right. It was like a street fight, and he kind of just came out in his shirt and his shorts and his shoes and whooped his ass. And we chased Kevin Owens everywhere and did all kinds of crazy stuff and stunned a bunch of people. And then they had him on the day 2 come back and stun people, and Vince McMahon took the worst stunner in the history of stunners. Go ahead and look at the Vince McMahon stunner on just Google that thing if you haven't seen it yet at WrestleMania, because there is a reason why you don't put 76-year-old men in wrestling rings and have them do wrestling moves. You actually had Vince McMahon in a wrestling match at one point, and then he ended up getting stunned by Steve Austin in the end, and it's just too stupid for words. But the original Stone Cold gimmick that they did on night 1 was very good as far as protecting him and in the way they did the match. And I'm sure he had a lot to do with that. Kevin Owens is very good at what he does, and those two guys just pulled it off brilliant. So that was pretty good. And then the women's title match with Bianca Belair and what's her name, Becky Lynch, was pretty good. So out of 2 days, 8 hours, you got probably 3 or 4 pretty good matches, really good matches. You probably could have done most of this stuff on a Raw or SmackDown for the rest of the show, so that's kind of why it was like and it was, some stuff was a little disjointed, and one match got moved to day 2 because they ran out of time, and of course we had the injury in the main event on day 2. So yeah, but all the stuff that goes around WrestleMania should never end, even if WWE wasn't here, because there should be somebody else. They should still have this event that revolves around wrestling, because it was pretty cool to see everybody that I know getting work and doing their thing, and it was pretty fun if you have access to watching all that stuff and you like it. So, and then now my little inside tip on championship belts, if you're a nerd like me and you like the championship belts, they're going to do the big gold 3D edition from the WWE shop, but that is going to be held up for a little bit, I think. And it may not make it till next WrestleMania. And that's we're just talking about replication belts for, replica belts for fans to purchase. Also the big green. You remember the big green one with the all the plates on the side.
Yeah.
The big, huge green one. They're going to make a replica of that one, Moose. It's held up in legal right now because of the names on the plates. So they got to get all the clearance on all the names because it's got the names for like who had the belt in different eras. And so that are on the side plates. So once they get that cleared up, that one will be out too. So those two belts will probably make the market somewhere around next year's WrestleMania. A lot of people were looking forward to that. And then the unified championship design that everybody thought, oh, there's going to be a brand new belt on Raw for a new championship. It doesn't look like that's going to happen until once again closer to next Mania. But WWE's been known to fast track stuff. So if like they're having issues with stories or trying to make something work, then they may just pull the trigger on bringing in the new championship and turning a story a different direction right away. So just because I heard those things doesn't mean it'll stay. Vince McMahon is senile and crazy. He'll just say anything at any given moment. And obviously by the fact that he went in there and drank beers and then got stone cold stunned at 76 years old. And it was basically looked like someone trying to put their limp wiener in a prostitute. Yeah, I said it. I said it. That's how you end a show. It was the worst looking stunner I've ever seen. I mean, you know, he does a setup with the kick to the belly.
Yeah.
And that was all jacked up. And he fell down and hit the ropes and stumbled around and fumbled around. And Stone Cold tried to grab him and went to hit him with a stunner. And he just like fell down before he even, it was just so horrible. So just remember, when you're 76 years old, don't ever get in a wrestling ring. I don't care who you are.
I'm not getting a wrestling now. I'm 56.
I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're invincible. There's no Gordie Howe of pro wrestling. The Rock and Roll Express, they're the closest. Ric Flair and the Rock and Roll Express. Those three individuals are probably the closest thing. And it's a do not try this at home for everybody else, period. But you know what you can try at home? This show next week.
Or watch us again on the replays.
Yes, you sure can.
On demand whenever you want to.
Yes, go to the Studio 57 Radio YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, share the channels. Enjoy. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Love y'all. Be good to each other. See you next week.
Peace out, brothers.
Peace.
You're listening to Studio 57 Radio, your home for underground hip-hop, rap, and R&B. Studio 57